What's up? How you doing? Here we are. Beautiful night tonight, January 2nd, 2025. Happy New Year. I don't know where the time goes, but it evaporates. So, beautiful night. Perfect. No wind. It's like I'm inside a room or something. So I have some steak here. We're gonna fry it up a bit. So I have olive oil here. I have a little bit of rub here. It's chili powder blend. A little bit of heat, not that much. And then I have something I'm going to add to the pan with the oil here. Churi sauce. Mr. Chimmy's. So I don't know if you can see that, but so we're gonna cut the steak into strips, cubes, remove some of the fat there on the side, toss it away, and then I'm gonna put it in the frying pan. Delicious water. So good prime. USDA prime. I don't want to make them thin and they cook too fast, or they don't keep the medium rare. Alright, cut off some of the fat, unnecessary. I know some people like it. I years ago was eating my steak and I was cutting the fat off and putting it to the side, and I was eating the rest of it, and somebody I was with, an older person, they were very old, like in their 80s, leaned in and said, I can't throw that out. I love the taste of that. I don't really find that part, the fat there, tasty. I find it kind of like neutral. So, I don't know what they were noticing. But I don't eat it. I never have. Even when I was a kid, I toss it out. I've said this before, but if you were to go over somebody's house and you'd cut the fat out and not eat it, they would always say to me, hey, what are you doing? You're throwing out the best part. The best part. That's not the best part. Maybe if you grew up during the Great Depression, you convinced yourself that this fat here was the best part. It's not the best part. You want a little bit, right? A little bit, but not the whole thing. Not that much. Get like a ½ inch of fat there. I know bears, before they go into hibernation, they try and eat a lot of calories, and what they prefer is really fatty meat. Like if you gave that to a bear, he'd love it, or she'd love it. Then they go in there, they hibernate, and they come out all, after springtime, they come out all trim. So I think I want to cut these. I don't know if I should cut some of these in half, or I'll cut them in half, right? Yeah, I could feel by the way the knife goes in that it's a good quality meat. You hear that? Sounds like gunfire or a pack of firecrackers or something like that. Okay, so we have a bunch of cubes there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub them down. I will pour it in my hand. That's rich. You could taste that without tasting it. But I can't believe 2025. It was yesterday, it was 2020, and everybody was panicking. Everybody had the masks on. And it wasn't that long ago where Y2K was lurking. Remember that Y2K thing? And here we are, years after. My wife is inside watching television, probably wondering, because sometimes they call me and I can't hear them out here because there's a distance, there's walls and doors, and she'll be calling me and I don't hear her. Then automatically goes to the phone. But sometimes, you know, before the phone rings, she'll say, where were you? Next day I go in, well, I'm out here doing stuff. Yeah, this is very, very appealing to me. Almost smells like what a chupacabra would smell like if you cooked it. All right, we got everything in here, nice and seasoned. I'm going to wash my hands. Touching meat and then touching things annoy me. And I got to get out the cleaning stuff. So I'm going to go wash my hands and then touch it again. There's no point, but yeah, I want to touch the bottle. I want to touch that, and I don't want to touch it with these hands. These hands right here. So I'm going to wash these hands. I'll be right back in a flash. All right, I am back. I washed the hands thoroughly, although unnecessary because I'm still doing stuff, but so I have my pan here, raise the temperature, and what we're going to do is we're going to add some olive oil. I love this brand. It's California, it's local. First Harvest. Can't tell you how much I love First Harvest. Cold pressed, extra virgin. So I get this. I have Greek olive oil, which is excellent, but tonight we're using California olive oil. Look at that, how green that is. All right, now we keep it simple. Put the cap on this. Ingredient number 2 here. Delicious. Smells great. Look at that. Gonna add some of that in there. Ooh, look at that. It's splattering because there's moisture in this here, and that's the way it goes. What are you gonna do? So we're gonna put this stuff in there. I need one of those wooden spoon things. I'll be right back in a flash. Alright, I am back. Smells great. Very delicious smelling. That smells so good. Now we flip them individually. That smell is so good. Even if you're not hungry, you'll eat some. So I was thinking of the movie Back to the Future yesterday. And it came out in 1985, the original. I was thinking how fast the years went by. So here we are, 2025, 40 years ago that movie came out. I remember my cousins were over my house visiting, and they were there for a while. And then they said, "Hey, you wanna do something? Go see a movie or something?" I said, "Sure." So we ended up going to the movie theater, and I remember we went down the aisle, and we got the seats on the left side. Back then the theaters were big in that area, and I ended up getting the aisle seat, which I still get. I prefer the aisle. Even on an airplane, I want the aisle seat. And so we saw that movie, and then when they went for the sequel, they had it where it was 30 years in the past. They went back to the 50s. And then they ended up going at some point to the future. So I guess in that movie, they, at the end of Back to the Future 1, they ended up going, they give you a cliffhanger, so they end up going, I guess, into the future 2015. And I remember thinking, wow, 2015, that's a long time away. And so they had to fix the problems that happened in 2015 because of the situation that Biff ended up doing with that sports almanac back from the 50s where he came back to 85, so they had to go, figure out what was going on. They ended up in 2015 at some point, and I remember watching that as a kid thinking, 2015, that's not going to happen for a long, long time. And it didn't, or it felt that way. And then what happened was 2015 happened. And they had a big hype about that. They were interviewing the actors on that movie, and they're like, can you believe it? 30 years have passed. Well, can you believe it now that 10 years have passed beyond that? And now we're at year number 40? Crazy. But that's how time is, time. We're only in this moment for this moment. And then once that's done, you're not in that moment anymore. I mean, we can capture time now on video, which is kind of cool. I look at all these videos now that are from the past, obviously, as kind of like time traveling without being able to interact. I can't go and change anything in the videos, but it feels like time travel to me. I get to see. It's a window into the past, where before, 100 years ago, you didn't have any of that, or 100, 120, 130. You couldn't capture the past and look at it in the future or in the present. It was done, it was over, it was only a memory. But now, you capture it, you look at it over and over. It's like opening up a window into the past. So, this stuff smells great. I know it's like a broken record, but I'm skipping. It smells great, great, great. This is a snack. We actually have a real meal inside. Just doing this for my kids, I'm gonna surprise them with a bit of a snack while I'm warming up the other stuff. Make sure we got all sides hit. I don't want to get any food poisoning. Stupendous. You don't hear that word that often anymore. Almost sounds like you're stupid. Stupendous. Somebody, when they came up with that, said, I'm going to call people stupendous or an event stupendous, but I'm actually calling them stupid. I'm just doing it in a cryptic way. That was stupendous. I really mean that was stupid. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to get a plate, transfer these into the plate. Quiet night tonight. The planets are still out. Jupiter is up above right there. I can see it. That's what I want to get, a nice, powerful telescope. Want to see, I can get a telescope. It's only going to see the solar system. It's not like I'm going to see the edge of the universe. But still, I remember years ago I would go up to the Griffith at night and the observatory, and they would have telescopes out for people to look into. And one time I went and Saturn was visible. They had another day when I went, they had the sun. They had a special filter and you could look at the sun. And then they had the sunspots that you could see. I've seen Saturn, I've seen Jupiter. I think that's it. Okay, that's it for that. I don't want to kill it. Alright, I'm going to bring this inside to my kids, and I may be back, I may be not. So ciao for now.